more. Go ahead and hit that button. I'm sitting here picking my eye boogers. Oh, yeah, and we're fucking live. And I'm over here picking my eye boogers. God, you're an asshole. Oh, there's a word I hadn't said today.
Eye boogers, huh? That's okay. At least it's not regular boogers.
I don't have the nails for that, okay? I mean, you need fucking cocaine nails to get up in there and get some of them critters sometimes. I mean, you gotta, if you're digging for gold, you need the right tools. Hello, everybody.
What up?
We have Chrissy, Kimberly, Lucy, Lila. Mama
hello,
Bear.
everyone.
Hey, Bean. I miss my beans. I used to have a whole lot of them at one time in my life. Then I got in a car accident and I lost all my beans.
You lost all your beans.
I lost all my beans. I told you that long time ago.
Probably, yeah.
I told you, I said, my short-term memory is shit because of a car accident.
What's up with you? How's your summer driving schedule?
Well, you know, it's not bad. It's really not that bad. You know, I get up early in the morning. I putz around the house. I have a little brekkie. And then I'll go to work for an hour and 40 minutes. Then I'll come home. I'll take a little nappy nap. I love naps. Nappy Town, phenomenal place. I got a road map to it. And then, like the other day, I woke up and I looked. I'm like, 9:30. Fuck! I'm late for work.
Whoops.
Yeah. And then I'm like, wait a second. Calm down. Relax. You're good. Because you put this red shirt on this morning. You're good. Oh, and then, you know, I'll go back to work at like 11:25ish, and I'll work until 1:10ish, and I'll come home and go to Nappy Town again. Although Nappy Town is not getting the status it needs anymore, because I think my blood sugar's actually starting to mellow out a little bit now that we're getting on the right Manjaro, or we're getting the right dosage of the Manjaro. So I'm not sleeping as much, so my blood sugar's starting to get a little bit under control. Hey, Cherie, Kimberly, Shanae, Lupe, Charlene. How are you, Charlene? I haven't seen you in a while. So yeah, we're starting to get a little things under control. Now if I can start losing some of this ass that's following me. You know, if you're walking around and you feel like somebody's following you and you keep turning around and looking at you like somebody's stalking your ass, it's your ass that's stalking your ass. Oh, drinking a little wine?
I was muted. Is that how much junk you got back there that you think somebody's following you all the time?
Abso-fucking-lutely. There's a lot of junk in my trunk.
Hey, Paul, hey, everyone, welcome. So the big news of the day.
The news. Okay. You need that thing that Walter Cronkite used to do with the computer noises and the teletyping thing going on when you go.
That's right.
Big news of the day.
Yeah, the antiquated, like a typewriter or something like that.
Yes.
Yeah. So somebody broke a story. Or posted a story. I shouldn't say broke.
Well, the president broke wind, but you know we're not going to use the word
too.
broke.
Yeah. That Marvon McCray, or Von McCray, that he had officially passed. And apparently it happened back August, May the 7th or something like that.
Well, which is it, August or May? I mean, there's a lot of time between those two.
May that it happened just recently. Now
there was a little over.
It came out. Ago. It was posted. It was posted back then also, but nobody believed it because of where it came from. And the source today was Molly Golightly. And a lot of people take what she says with a grain of salt, and they're like, don't put money on it. But more and more other venues, pages, I should say, have been coming out with like confirmations of it.
Yeah, but where are they getting their info?
That's what I would like to know. That's why I'm not fully on board the Vaughn McCray has passed train.
You know, I got kind of mixed feelings about it. You know, if he did pass, you know, I want to say good, the guy's no longer suffering. But when you're in a coma, are you suffering? Probably not, because you're sleeping most of the time. But at some point, you know, you really gotta let reality kick in, and the questions go: how much longer should we actually wait? I mean, is there a chance?
When you're in a coma, you're just like asleep, right? When you finally wake up, it's like you've been sleeping for 30 seconds or something like that. Is that what that feels like?
Decades in some cases. I mean, look at poor Rip Van Winkle. I mean, he slept for 100 fucking years.
Right.
But I mean, you know, something somewhere's got to be like, you know, you got to think in your head, is this right to let this go on? I mean, it's hard to let. Of course, if you love somebody, it's hard to let them go. You got to make the impossible decision, but at the same point, you got to do what's right. Not for you, but for them.
But I think it depends on the kind of coma. If there's brain activity,
there different kinds of coma. I mean,
well, seriously. If there's brain activity, you know, that means there's possibly hope. If there's no brain activity and he's just a vegetable, that's a different story, I imagine. I don't know. I'm not a doctor. I don't claim to be a doctor or a nurse. Just saying.
I mean, I can see, you know, going 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, maybe a year. I can see going a year in a coma. But after that, you really got to start questioning what's right.
But what about who's paying for that stuff? I mean,
exactly. I mean, that's another
so
thing
much,
you got to take in consideration too. I mean, because when hospitals are charging $40,000 a day, that's a lot of goddamn money.
Unless the insurance is, you know, taking care of the bill completely. I don't know. I think if I was in a coma, I'd want you to keep me alive, because you know what? Stuff happens. People just wake up. You don't know what's going to happen. You could write somebody off, but at some point you could just wake up.
Well, and there's stories of that happening too. You know, oh, you know, I couldn't let my son, I couldn't pull the plug on my son. Okay, yeah, I get it. It's your son. And he's been in a coma for 20 years, and all of a sudden, boom, he wakes up.
Right. Yeah, so that's not an easy thing to just, you know, when a doctor says, well, I mean, is there absolutely no brain activity? All right, then let's give it 5 more days to see if brain activity happens.
5 more days is going to go, let's give it another week, and another week, and another week. And because mom and dad and wife and son and daughter and grandma and grandpa, they all have that sliver of hope. And I get it. You know, hope is a lot.
Paul's right. Make sure you have a living will so your loved ones don't have to make that decision. Whatever's in the living will. If you say, keep me plugged in for 6 months, make sure that's going to happen. I think if it's beyond a certain time frame, see, but even that's not a guaranteed thing. It's you have no idea.
Yeah.
For the people that pull the plug after 3 days, and what if he would have woken up on the 4th day? You have no idea.
I think
no way of
pulling
knowing.
a plug after 3 days of being in a coma, that's fucking stupidity. That's fucking ignorant. That's somebody that has absolutely no hope or any kind of love in their heart.
3 days is too quick.
Yeah.
There's got to be something. There's got to be I don't know. It's crappy for that to happen. And so the sketchy part of all of this is that Dre, his wife, hasn't been all that. Seems like she's not all there when all this was going on, even leading up to whatever happened.
Well, even when our little friend Vanessa and Dre did their whatever you want to call that mess, Dre really didn't seem like she was there either. It's like, it's, maybe this is a little too catty, but it seems like she had ulterior motives. She only cared about herself, nobody else. That's what I get out of her. Somebody said my shirt looks a little funky. That's because it's got some green in it, like a blue-green color. So it's reacting with my
So he's got a green screen. So anything green, it's going to become transparent.
Yeah. So I'm in a Star Wars tunnel right now.
So if he wears a green turtleneck, he's just going to be ahead.
Just ahead.
Kind of like we did on.
But at least I would
Halloween.
be ahead and not behind. Oh, sweet Jesus, Mary and Joseph.
So anyway, one of the other pages, I don't recall what it is right now. Hold on, see if I can find it.
Try to find it.
Trying to find it. No, even the other guy, Danny Flores, does another page called The Chisme Report.
The Chisme Report?
Chisme, yeah. Chisme means gossip in Spanish.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen this page.
Yeah, I think you've seen him here and there. Wears a baseball cap backwards.
Okay. Yep.
Anyway, that even he posted, well, somebody's saying this, but wait for some kind of official confirmation. Don't believe everything that Molly says, and which I don't. And so even he's waiting. So I've reached out to a couple of people. Alex from Down the Rabbit Hole News. I sent her an email.
The Rabbit Hole News.
Rabbit Hole News. Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah. She does a pretty good show. And she's followed them a lot as well. So I'm trying to see if they know something. She knows something else. We'll get some kind of combination.
Y'all know what a rabbit hole is, right? It's not only the way to Wonderland. But if you're a huge oh fuck, his name just escaped my mind. The Taken guy.
The Taken. Oh, Liam Neeson.
Thank you. If you're a huge Liam Neeson, he's always going down the rabbit hole. In other words, you're going into a different life.
Yes.
I love the rabbit hole. I need a rabbit. Everybody needs a rabbit hole.
Hey, Tori. Tori's been commenting a lot lately. Well, on this story. Or maybe she's just in a state of shock and didn't know how to go about all this. Her entire life became one big YouTube saga. And everybody has their own opinion on her life and taking a little pieces, not the whole story. Well, that's true. Imagine that being your husband or your wife and your child being accused of horrific things. I'm sure she was just shocked. I would like to believe that. And I would like to believe that as well. But just from what they show on the surface, she used kind of like strange behavior from her.
It's kind of like that telephone game. You know how you can say one thing to somebody and then they'll go say something, and then by the time it went through 10 people, it completely changed whatever the original sentence was. But it's kind of like, you watch something and I watch the same thing, but we get different takes on it. Kind of like when you go to church and your pastor's up there and he's reading certain passages, or he's saying this and saying that. People are going to hear different things. Different interpretations. That's the word I was looking for. Interpretations.
Interpretation. Yeah, and that's what happened. So that's what's trending, if you want,
Oh, I like that word, trending.
on some level of the internet right now.
Kind of like that gargantuan that was trending. Oh, I can get any man I want. Bullshit, a bullshit, a bullshit, a bullshit.
I've seen more video. They did a little profile on her. I don't know if you've seen that.
I watched it today. It was like 3, 4, 5 minutes, and I'm like, oh my god, it really is a dude.
I told you,
It really is a dude,
and you didn't believe me.
I didn't believe. Well, because the first you watch somebody for 30 or 40 seconds, you're gonna take them at face value. But then when you're like really watching them and watching them talk and their mannerisms, and then you're like, wait a minute, you have fat man boobs.
I told you.
You have fat man boobs. You are a dude. Why can we not see your Adam's apple? Oh, because your neck and your face are one fucking unit. You have just a chin. I mean, what the fuck are you, Grimace?
It was very Jabba the Hutt-ish, kind of a neck thing going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Notre Dame wants to know who we're talking about.
We're talking about. God, how do
Throw
I
her up
find
there
it
real
now?
quick. Throw him up there real quick, because it's not a her.
Oh,
Kind
man,
of like I posted something today.
His name, whatever you want to call it.
Al something.
I think L Wheezy or something.
Yeah,
or...
Al Weezy. I posted something today about bathroom doors. One says balls and no balls. I mean, how much more simpler do you have to be?
Al Wheezy.
Al Weezy. Oh, you're going to love this one, ladies and gentlemen. If you haven't seen it, you're going to love it. Does this one have the little baby in it? Or is this the 5-minute video? Because the 5-minute video is really good.
Here's the whole video. All right, I'm going to show the video. I'm going to show just a little bit of this. Only a little bit so you can see who we're talking about.
Yeah.
But
maybe we'll put a link to the video up so you guys can watch it. The Man in Pink.
Let's see which clip this is. Let me just play it here.
What was said was said.
Okay.
Yeah. I said what I said, and I meant what I said.
Okay.
Period.
What she said was, what did she say? Something about if she decides to get any man, she can have any man she wants. And
He can have any man he wants, and he can take any man from any woman, because he is a perfect 10.
Yeah, so that's so Bam thought it was just a big girl.
Yeah, and then until
I was pretty sure it was not. Like that's a dude.
Well, it is a dude, because first off, women do not have breasts like that. That is a fat man breast. That is fat man boob right there. How do I know fat man boob? I used to have fat man boob, so I know fat man boob. But you guys, so she calls her calls her best friend coming home from a bar because she couldn't pick up this guy she really wanted, and she's like, it's just so fucking that I'm a fucking 10, and now I have to eat my feelings, and she's crying because she couldn't get the man she wanted at the nightclub. Okay.
I saw that video. She was all depressed and sad.
Oh, yeah. You Google it. Trust me. If you want a good laugh, Google it.
Okay, what is this? Voda? Who's Voda?
I don't even think that would classify as trans, Nadia.
Well, I've got my opinions as to what trans is.
I do too, and I've worked with a lot of beautiful trans men back in the 90s.
It's not even about beauty. It's more about if they're actually trying to, excuse me, I'm just spit all over the place. If they're trying to transition, like getting hormones, and they're gonna
That's what
surgery and snip this and cut that, and
That's what trans is. Caitlyn Jenner, that's trans. Dylan Mahi Mohoy, transvestite beer, that is not trans. Just because you come out of the closet and decide to put a dress on does not mean you're a transgender person.
yeah, because they can quit putting on a dress and just go into men's clothes tomorrow morning, and then they're back to being a regular dude. So,
I mean, today's society has taken the definition and the word of transgender and turned it into something that it's not. And wants you to believe that just because you say you're trans, you're trans. No. There's more to it. There is implants. There is surgeries. There is living constantly as that sex that you are trying to be. Not just wake up one day and put on a three-piece suit and go, oh, I'm a man. No, you're not.
and it's disturbing, you know. And what's the actress from the Juno movie? I forgot his name. Now he's a he.
Juno.
The one she had her. That's called Juno. She actually had her breasts removed.
Oh, top surgery. Yeah.
Yeah, and damn it, I can't remember her name. Some people tell me the name of that trans person.
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
Boom, Paige.
Yes.
Now she goes by Elliot Page, but I think her Ellen Page, right? Ellen Page was her female name.
Well, see, I always knew him as Elliot, and I thought that it was a man because I watched that movie on Netflix that he was in with the 5 brothers and sisters.
He was on as Elliot? It did a movie as Elliot?
Yeah.
Oh, don't know. I've only seen photos of.
Yeah, there was like 4 or 5 seasons of it.
I've only seen photos of him.
The Umbrella Academy. He was in the Umbrella Academy.
Oh, okay. But she went as far as complete mastectomy.
Yeah.
And I don't know, man. That's harsh.
Hey, Kay.
And it's more harsh for a guy who decides to snip off his wee-wee.
Well, they don't.
That's very harsh. Call it what you want.
It's not a Lorena
wrong.
Bobbitt
It's not
situation. It is not a Lorena Bobbitt situation. They don't
Call
pick
it what
it up
you want.
They stand it up and they slice it into 4.
Yeah. It's, I don't need those details. But whatever it is, it's not the original item.
He hates it when I do that.
It's not the original item anymore. It's damaged goods.
Damaged goods. Oh, sweet Jesus.
There's no turning back from that. I mean,
no, there's not. Once you slice it into 4s and tuck it in and reroute all your little tubes and everything, you can't go back. You're done.
Yep. And I mean, I imagine for breasts like a mastectomy, you can always get implants, right, and get mounds back there or a shape of breast back on there.
Well, and that's just it. You know, if you decide, if a man actually goes and has a boob job done, so to speak, that's actually reversible. You can take them out and you can put in man packs and look completely normal. But
so for a guy,
once you get your tallywhacker and your tidbits snipped and tucked and everything, it's done. You never get that back again.
And for a guy, when they're going to put boobs in, they have to stretch the skin out. So they got to put these things under the chest, under the skin.
And hence why our little friend Vanessa's nipples are not centered. There wasn't enough skin to stretch and yank and pull and tug. because after you did your tummy tuck with muscle fixation, you can't pull the skin this way and then turn around and pull it that way. It's one direction or the other, not both.
Speaking of our little friend,
Oh yes.
so I get up to use the bathroom in the middle of the night, and I notice that she's at, what is it? The Immaculate Conception? What is it? No, Ultimate Deception.
Immaculate. Oh, she's Mary Magdalene now.
No. Ultimate Deception has got her on. She's live. She's been live for hours. And she was doing the karaoke thing. She was singing or attempting to sing. I don't know if you caught any of this.
We like the word attempting.
Oh my goodness.
I'd rather listen to nails on a chalkboard.
That's what it was
honest with
like.
you.
That's what it was like.
I think nails on a chalkboard sounds better. I mean, at least it has a tune and a tone.
Some of what I heard was Cyndi Lauper's True Colors.
Yep.
Sinead O'Connor, Nothing Compares to You.
I heard Alanis Morissette.
Alanis Morissette.
Yes, Kay sent me the clip of Alanis Morissette, and I think I made it halfway through it, and I'm like, oh my God, my ears, I have to turn it off. And I was listening to this at, I don't know, like 4:20 this morning. Not something you want to wake up to.
And I commented on there. I had to turn that. Oh, White Snake. Yeah, she did White Snake. Here I go again. Oh,
okay. I mean,
great
I
song.
can't sing. I
Lovely.
admit I cannot sing,
the
but
lovely
I can
Tawny
sing a hell of a
Katane
lot
was in
better
the
than she
video.
can.
So sad. Tawny Katane said. Tawny Katane is the girl in the video wearing the white dress, dancing on the car.
Oh yeah, the one that died.
Yeah. She was in Bachelor Party with Tom Hanks, one of his first movies.
Mhm.
Early 80s, Bachelor Party. Great movie. Anyway, the very hot Tawny Katane. And then she just ruined that song last night. It was, I had to go to my Apple Music and put on some Herb Alpert to hear some regular, real music.
Oh.
And so she says she's done online. She's taking a
bullshit.
break or...
Where's that little kid at? A bullshit? A bullshit? A bullshit.
The comments were hilarious, by the way. That's
She'll be back.
and you know what? And it's okay to feel like that about yourself if you think you can sing, but you've got nobody telling you can't.
Well, see, and the funny thing is, when I drive the bus, I usually have my iPod playing. I have a little over, on this particular iPod, I have a little over 5,000 songs on it. And I add to it on a daily basis. I'm like, oh, I haven't heard that song in a while, so I'll add that to the library. And then when I get to the bus, I'll transfer it to that iPod. And I tell the kids, yet music is a little loud because I have this engine right next to me that's pumping out 10,000 degrees worth of heat, and then I have a fan above my head and a fan over there blowing on me. I said, so the only way I can hear it is the music be a little loud, and I apologize, but hey, it's my bus, okay? And I have everything from 80s, 90s, today, every genre you can possibly think of. I mean, so there's stuff there that they like. And like I tell the kids when I go on a field trip, I tell all the ladies or girls or guys or whatever I have, I'm like, hey, we're going to be on the bus for, hour and a half, whatever. I have my iPod, 5,000 songs. If you happen to hear some profanity, my profound apologies, because there's going to be some there. I said, and if you happen to hear a song that you like, yell, turn it up. I said, because I can't hear anything over this engine, and if I get out on highway speeds, it's even worse. So yell, turn it up. You'd be surprised at how many times I hear, turn it up!
As long as you don't play any NWA,
What's
F the
that?
Police.
No, I think, I think one song got on there, and it is still eluding me. I can't find it because I don't know the name of it. There are words that I hate, and if they're in music, I will not listen to the music, whether I like the song or not. I'm not going to listen to that particular song. But the N word, gone. If you say that N word in a song, I will not listen to that song. Whether I like you or not, I'm not going to listen to that song. It's just disrespectful.
Even if it's, you know how African American
people address other
it.
black people.
They can say it to each other, and they address it to each other.
I don't care. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it in music. I really don't. It's degrading. It's a disrespectful fucking word.
It's a disturbing video of a guy in a white Jeep.
Oh, wait. I drive a white Jeep. Shut the fuck up.
Wrangler.
Oh, okay. You're okay then.
Speeding down the expressway, yelling at a lady in a car. She's filming him, and he's shouting the N-word at her.
Oh, hell no.
And you're this, and you're an N, and you're an N, and and he tried to sideswipe her, but then he lost control. He slammed against the wall. So, karma, instant karma.
Right. I love instant karma. I mean, who doesn't?
But it's like, man, for people to use that word like that with hate like that, now that's real hate. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So that bothered me. Anyway, so our little friend was on last night. She kept saying, and then she kept saying, this is the last one. This is the last one. Then I'm done. This is the last one. It's like, oh my God, just finish already.
Sure it is.
And it's one of those things where it sounds horrible and you don't want to hear it, but you can't turn it off because you want to keep hearing what she sounds like. The whole train wreck analogy.
Oh yeah, and she is a train wreck.
And so she signed off, and then I believe she deactivated her page.
It'll be back. She's kind of like she's like a bad case of herpes. You just can't get rid of her. You just can't get rid of her no matter how hard you try.
Yeah, she's deactivated right now. And I don't know what's going to happen. Why is she deactivating? She said for about 30 days or something like that. Is something going to happen?
Got to go do a 30-day stint someplace.
Go do a what?
30-day stint in jail someplace.
Could it be a planned...
Or she's checking into rehab for 30 days.
30 days ain't going to do it.
Oh, no, it won't fix her issues.
30 days, you might as well not even go. That's useless.
I mean, 30 days is just enough to get the drugs out your system and start thinking straight.
Yeah, I don't know. So whatever's going to happen with her, wish her the best of luck. Whatever. Take care. I don't know. Whatever. It was entertaining for a while, and then it just got what do you call it?
Well, like I said, she's like a bad case of herpes. She'll be back.
You think so?
Oh yeah. I mean, she
loves
the attention too much.
Yeah. Yeah, and I get that. I think I don't think she can stay away unless she's locked up away or something like that. That's different. So the other thing trending in the news, I'll say on the internet, not in the news necessarily, although it did hit the mainstream media.
Oh, what's that?
Was a story about a possible space alien ship that crashed
in Vegas.
And then this guy's called to the police saying he saw these 9-foot, 10-foot creatures.
I heard the 911 call.
Yeah. And you know what? I like to believe that. So then so the video keeps coming out. Everybody keeps pushing the video. And look right here. You can see the head. You can look right here. He's in the forklift machine. And like,
It's at the forklift machine.
because there was like two trucks there, like a tractor or a forklift or something. It was dark. And somebody was taking video. It was the guy's wife or sister or something. So this time there was a camera. The problem is it was at night. And if it's an iPhone, well, iPhones don't take good night videos in the first place. And I don't know what to believe. The police officer shows up. He says, the only reason I'm here is because my partner saw this thing fly across the sky and like a shooting, like a asteroid or whatever. Now they think that it crashed near there somewhere, which the experts are saying it was more likely that it crashed like hundreds of miles away. But it was pretty big. So he doesn't know that the two are related.
I mean, for somebody to have such a small mind and go, it's not possible. I'm like, we cannot be the only universe out there. There's got to be other universes. And how would you... I mean, warp drive? I mean, maybe. I mean, if it weren't for some of these movies that came out with all these imaginations, we wouldn't be where we're at. So,
that's true too.
Is warp drive a possibility? Possibly in maybe another 100 years or so, it might be. But that they say that you can go from universe to universe to universe by traveling through wormholes or black holes. I mean, They're pretty much the same thing. Maybe that's how you get from one universe to another one. Once you can learn how to escape the gravity of a black hole. I don't know. I think it's possible.
I want to show one of the videos from... There have been a lot of content creators, most of them on TikTok, who are talking about this. And I want to show one of them. There have been some really good ones.
Maybe I shouldn't use the word small mind. I'm not enough imagination, I guess. I mean, I guess I don't want to say that people are small-minded that don't believe. They just can't fathom the imagination of it.
All right, let me kill that music so let's watch this thing.
We're in Las Vegas.
Oops.
We've all been looking in the wrong spots. I've seen clips of behind the fence. I've even posted a few clips of what I thought to believe the aliens were. But we have to listen to where he describes the aliens are located. Pay attention.
There were two of them. I saw one of them inside and one of them outside.
Like one of them in the forklift?
Yeah, one of them inside the forklift and one of them outside. Which is when he's a couple seconds, and then I told Matt to go look, and he looked. He saw it too, and then we saw another one inside. And there's a lot of stuff about it. So
all the hype now is about the image you'll see behind the forklift. It looks like a T-Rex, but I doubt that's it. He says they look like aliens, and they're in the actual forklift. But here's where it gets...
So the one thing where before people were saying like to look here somewhere, but somebody's saying this is it right here.
The smoke,
whatever it is. Yeah.
The T-Rex, but I doubt that's it. He says they look like aliens, and they're in
that. This is him right there, or something like that. Like, and then somebody went as far as drawing an outline, like a cartoon, like a kid's outline of. I think they were poking fun at it, but
yeah, here's where it gets crazy. Listen to what happened to him a few months prior.
Before that happened, I was at a gas station with my brother and my cousin. And a lady came up to me. Like, an old lady came up to me and my brother, my cousin. Mm-hmm. They're like...
See, here's one of them where they're saying this is... And they even circled the eyes. See this right here? They drew circles, red circles around what they believe are the eyes, but... not convincing for me.
Yeah, this doesn't convince me.
I swear to God, you're the only one who's gonna know about it. I haven't told nobody about it. I was gonna say it in the video, but I'm just gonna say it here too. A lady came up to me was an old lady. So she comes to me, she's like, God wants to speak to you. I was like, what's going on? I kind of didn't believe it at first. I was like, they're trying to mess with me. She's like, I'm gonna tell you something's gonna happen to Vegas.
I don't know. You know, like with a lot of paranormal videos, UFOs, Bigfoot, Loch Ness Monster, whatever.
Ah, Nessie, the Loch Ness.
Nessie, yeah. There never seems to be a good quality
Photo or video.
Yeah, the closest thing we've come to a good video, I think, was well, maybe the Bigfoot, I forgot the name of the guy who shot the video back in the 70s. That famous Bigfoot footage, California
I
woods.
remember that one.
And then lately, the UFOs that the Air Force and the Navy are capturing out there at sea, the little Tic Tac thing flying around.
Yeah, and we even have members of Congress talking about UFOs now, like they know something, and they're trying to get it released.
It's hard to.
I mean, what is a UFO? I mean, does it really have to be a flying saucer type, disc type situation? No, it can be anything. Unidentified flying object, UFO, that's what it is. They don't know what it is. That's why it's unidentified. Could it be an alien? Possibly. Could it be Russian? Chances, maybe. China? Abso-fucking-lutely.
I know there was a rumor back when the Cold War was going on that Hitler, that they had one of these aircraft and they were reverse engineering it. Reverse engineering means they were trying to pull it apart piece by piece to see how it was made and how it works.
Now, I could actually believe that because Hitler, I mean, as crazy and narcissistic as that man was, he's a fucking genius.
He was a mad genius, unfortunately. Yeah. But there was a rumor that they had possession of some kind of aircraft that was defying gravity. Whether that's true or not, has yet to be seen. But a lot of people are coming out, U.S. military, and all these very, very, very underground departments that don't really exist, but they exist.
Why do you think they pay $20,000 for a hammer, $150,000 for a toilet seat? How do you think they fund that shit?
Yeah,
and they don't even think twice about it. Oh, $150,000 for a toilet seat? They don't look at the quantity because they're thinking, okay, well maybe it's $400,000. No, one. They don't look at that. They just pay the bill. And you wonder where your taxes are going, people. Speaking of taxes, sweet mother of God.
Oh, shit.
So I got my paycheck today.
Yeah.
And after I paid my rent and 2 small bills, I decided to look at my paycheck. I'm like, well, where the fuck's all my money at? $400 in fucking taxes and whatnots. I'm like, out of a $1,300 check, you take $400. I mean, fuck me in the ass.
I think my deductions were, let's see. I got to do the math here.
You got to do the math.
Quick with a calculator.
Quick with the calculator, he says. I'll pull up my
$400 in deductions.
Yeah, hang on just a second. I'll pull up my paycheck, and I'll give you the actual tax amount here. Sweet mother of God. I got to type in a password to see my paycheck. Do you believe that shit? All right. Actual deductions on this paycheck. FICA, $79.90. Medicare, $18.69. VSP, which is my vision, $4.50. Flex Med, that's my flex spending account, $68. Federal tax, $75. Illinois state tax, $86.
We don't have state tax here, thank God.
IMRF, which is my what do you call that? My retirement fund, $65. Union fees, $13. Coke, 50 cents. and I'm getting Coke rid of because they're taking money out of my paycheck to give to the Democrats' election campaign. I'm like, yeah, no, I'm not. Not gonna fucking happen there. Then I have some volunteer life insurance, 1220, total of $422.85. It's like,
Yeah, mine was $390. And
how are you supposed to live on something like this? So my current, my current gross amount was $1,350. My taxable amount was $1,223. After taxes, I brought home, where the fuck are you? A little under $940. Paid my rent, paid my cable bill, and I put gas in my car. Broke.
Yeah. Sometimes,
and,
some weeks are better than others. Some paychecks are better than others, and depending on your situation, what you paid, and this and that. Some you can get by, and some you're barely. Like the water is right here,
I'm excited this month because I get 3 paychecks this month. But is it really a bonus paycheck? No, it's not.
No.
It's like, I gotta wait 2 weeks, and it's like I'm digging through at the bottom of the freezer. It's like, oh, where'd this come from? There's a ham steak in there, and I never had ham steak before. I think I got it from one of the food pantries, so I defrosted that thing and had that for lunch. Oh my god, it was the saltiest fucking piece of meat I ever put in my mouth.
Ham steak is good with some scrambled eggs. Just the whole big piece of ham steak. There's a place over there in I don't know if it's Morton Grove or Mount Prospect. I think it's Mount Prospect. It's called Mr. A's.
Mr. A's.
It's a Greek-owned diner.
Mm-hmm.
And they do breakfast, and they give you order ham and eggs, you get a piece of ham that's this thick.
Well, that's how thick this steak was. So I'm sitting here.
Oh man!
I thought it was going to be like spiral ham. Completely different taste. Completely different taste. I was not impressed with the ham steak.
Really?
Yeah.
Did it have a bone?
Did.
Usually the bone makes it a little more tasty. That's what they say. I don't know. I'd rather do it without the bone. But they say it adds taste to cooking, just like chicken or whatever. I don't know. I don't know if that's true or not.
Well, there's a lot of flavor in that bone marrow. I mean, that's why in a lot of very high-end restaurants, bone marrow, beef bone marrow, or any kind of cow bone marrow is on a menu as a delicacy, and people will suck the bone marrow or eat the bone marrow. Some people put bone marrow in butter. I'm putting it on crackers.
Yeah, not a fan of bone marrow, period.
I mean, when I make ham and beans,
even though I probably eat it somewhere.
Ham, I will boil that the bone, get all the flavor out of the bone, and get all that extra meat that's stuck on that bone. Get all the ham off of that thing, and the bone marrow will escape out of the bone and into the water, and I use that water for part of the stew or the stock.
Right.
So I mean, yeah, and if you've had my ham and beans, which I think you have, you've eaten pig bone marrow.
That's what I was going to say. I'm not a fan of it. I'm sure I've eaten it in some kind of dish or somewhere that I'm not aware of. The one thing I do like is that Vietnamese soup. It's called pho. Pho.
There's bone marrow in there.
That's what it's made out of. Practically bone soup.
Yep.
And they cook it overnight, sometimes for 2 days. It's boiled. What do you call it? They cook it overnight. But it
simmers.
Real freaking good.
Yeah.
It's real good. It's like a hot dog. I don't want to know what's in it, but it tastes good.
Well, if you buy an all beef hot dog, you know what's in it.
If you buy all beef, but it's still not all beef. They put other shit in there.
It's all beef.
They do. Yeah. Unless you buy a kosher one, like Hebrew National.
Or Nathan's.
They bless it It's got to be good, right? I would hope so.
No, the only now my understanding, and if you're Jewish, please straighten me out because I may be wrong. Chances are I might be wrong. My understanding of kosher is, and some Jewish, if you're rich, you can do this. They have two different kitchens in the same house.
Mhm.
One kitchen is strictly for meat. The other kitchen is to cook everything that is non-meat. So kosher, from my understanding, is meat is cooked in one pan and served in one pan, and everything else cooked in another pan. So if it's kosher, whatever you're cooking in this pan, no meat has ever touched it. Is that true or not?
Maybe that's part of it. And it's kosher's got more to do with how an animal was killed, and that a rabbi was able to give a blessing to the animal, to the meat. That's what I understand.
Hmm.
And yes, they have to cook it completely separately from non-kosher foods. So, any Jews out there can enlighten us on this. That'd be great.
Well, I actually got a Jewish lesson from one of my passengers once because she couldn't fly on the Sabbath.
Oh, practicing Jew.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh, well, we can't do that either because you're flying on the Sabbath. She goes, well, what? I'm like, well, you're flying on Sunday. She's like, no, that's fine. Sabbath is over.
Their Sabbath's on Saturday.
Yeah.
From Friday at dusk till Saturday at dusk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, never knew that. So, I mean.
So Kay's asking, then how is there kosher meat? Well, that's what I mean. It's kosher because it's blessed. It's blessed, and they handle the animal in a special way.
So do they bless the meat while it's still living?
I don't know.
Or do they bless it during the process or after the process?
That's a very good question. Kosher, satisfying the requirements of Jewish law. What does it mean to be kosher? In Hebrew, kosher means fit or proper. Kosher food is any food fit for consumption by Jewish people. The laws of kosher define which foods a person can eat and cannot eat, and also how they should produce and handle certain foods. The law also states which combinations of foods people should avoid. What are the kosher rules? Land animals must have cloven or split hooves and must chew the cud, meaning that the grass, they must eat the grass. Seafood must have fins and scales. It is forbidden to eat birds of prey. Birds of prey, okay. Meat and dairy cannot be eaten together, as it says in the Torah. Do not boil a goat in its mother's milk.
Well, I'm glad you said goat because when you said kid, I'm like, well, why would you boil a kid?
That didn't even occur to me, Bam, you sick bastard. You. So, like I said, it's got a way of it's how food is handled, and even produced, born, or handled while it's alive.
All I can say is I'm glad I'm not Jewish because that's way too damn confusing. I don't think I could ever. I mean, I've eaten kosher meals or on an airplane. It was the only thing that was left, so I ate it. But
yeah, it'd be too complicated for me too.
Yeah, way too complicated.
I mean, I'm sure there's a specialty places to shop where you know what you're getting is kosher. The whole store is kosher. Now, there's not many of those stores, except for the big cities, I imagine. New York's huge. Chicago, too.
Chicago's got
Florida.
a huge Jewish community.
I'm sure Florida's got a large, massive community. So, yeah, I don't know. It's and not all Jews practice that. You got observing Jews, and you've got practicing Jews, and then you've got non-observing Jews.
Well, there's
just
different Jewish as well. I mean, you have Jewish, then you have your Orthodox Jews, and then there's still another Jewish on top of it. So it's like your Orthodox Jews are the ones that with the curls on the side and have like the that
Hasidic.
white thing. I can't remember what it's called. That have the strings hanging.
Yeah, I can't remember what it's called. Just like a sash. Like
Yeah. And then those are the ones that will rip a piece of material when a member of their family is dead to them.
Correct. Whether it's in reality, like an actual death, or some kind of betrayal in the family, or an insult that goes too far, or something, and you're dead to me, and they'll take their clothing and just rip it, and that's the ultimate. That's one of the huge symbolisms.
Yeah. I love kosher pickles. Oh my God, kosher pickles are phenomenal.
Cheese with I thought kosher meant everything is like kosher pickles.
No, two different meanings there, but kosher pickles are good.
I'm sure people wouldn't mind that either, but yeah. Same as Amish or Mennonite.
I have no idea, but you live in Pennsylvania where there's a lot of Amish out in the country.
Fiddler on the Roof, great movie. A lot of people don't like it.
Love that movie. You know, one thing I miss about living in Kentucky, we had we didn't have a whole lot of Amish people there. I mean, we had a little small clan, but they had like this little shop on the side of the road where you could go and get some of their jarred jellies and fruits and pies. And oh my God. There was this one lady, she made the best Bavarian cream.
Yeah, Bavarian cream from Dunkin' Donuts. You get a Bavarian cream donut. It's not quite the same taste. I mean, it's okay, but it's not like a real Bavarian cream. Speaking of the Amish, when I was in upstate New York, Plattsburgh, New York, it's way up on the Canadian border, almost. And I swear, this is no lie, Walmart had parking just for horse and buggies only.
Shut up.
I swear to God, it was there. They had 4, 5, or 6 stalls that said horse and buggy only.
Wow.
And the little diagram, an outline of a horse and a buggy. And they'd be on the streets, and you'd have to wait behind them, and you're driving. It's like, oh, come on. But
okay, yeah, Deborah, pickled eggs. Yeah, no, I couldn't go there. Just like pickled bologna. You can't do that either.
I'm not a fan of pickled anything. I like pickles.
Well, that's pickled.
Yeah, but that's it. Like, that's all. Like, pickles are pickled. Pickles are pickled. I mean, I don't know. Besides that, nothing else should be
Kay
pickled.
says that she sees the horse and buggy parking at Walmart. I can't imagine that.
Right? See, so she knows what I'm talking about. And I think I think the sign is red. It's a red sign. Horse and buggy.
So in Chicago, we actually have police on horses.
Yeah.
They come out for special events. It's not an everyday thing. And they actually have this contraption that fits under the horse's behind and catches their poop. Do the Amish have that, or are they just rude and let their horse shit wherever?
From what I've seen, horses poop wherever they have to poop. It's nature. That's what I've seen. So I don't know. You know, in the big city, you can't have horse poop all over the place on the streets. Just give the whiners something else to whine about.
Well, in New York, they have like the horse and buggies. Do they have that contraption behind the horse there in New York? Or do they just get out like a shovel and scoop it up as the horse does its duty?
No, they don't get anything out. They just let the horse poop and cars run over it and whatever. And it's just part of everyday, normal, whatever.
So I guess only the Chicagoans don't like horse shit in their streets.
Yeah, that's very true.
That must have been a Mayor Daley thing.
Probably could have been. Anyway, that's all I got for today. We will see what comes up. I'm gonna keep this Marvon thing. If he's really passed away last May, I think May 7th is the day that they're talking about. I wonder what's going on with his wife, Dre McCray, and all this. And if he did pass away, why are they keeping it such a secret? Like, what is the point of?
Yeah,
Such a
I
secret?
mean, he really wasn't like the internet celebrity. It was more Dre that was. But I mean, people invested their lives in that story, and it's kind of like, watching a TV show, and it's like you're really pissed when you're into this show, and then all of a sudden it gets canceled for no reason, and they leave you hanging. That pisses me off the most. If you're going to cancel the show, do 1 or 2 last episodes and end it, so everybody's happy.
So that brings up, I've been watching reaction videos the last few months, and there's this couple that watches. They have not seen The Sopranos, so I've watched their reaction to the entire 6 seasons of The Sopranos. That brings up the last episode of Sopranos. Do you remember that? Do you remember what happened?
I don't. It's been so long.
It's the last episode. They're all getting together for dinner at a diner. Tony's there. Carmelo's there. What's his name? Anthony Jr. He's there. And they're waiting for Meadow to arrive. And she's outside trying to park her car. There's a shady dude sitting inside the diner. And 2 other shady dudes come in. And they kind of keep moving between the shady dude at the diner who keeps looking over at the Sopranos table. Meadow trying to walk in from parking her car. And before she gets to the front door, it goes black. The screen goes black. Nothing happens for about 15 to 20 seconds. And then the credits come up. And that's how they ended it. And I remember vividly that night thinking my cable went out.
Draw your own conclusion.
Everybody was going, what the hell? What's wrong with my cable? The cable's out, or DirecTV's out, or whatever. And but that's how they ended it. Now, was Tony killed that night there at the diner? Was he not killed?
Draw your own conclusion.
It's just a strange way.
That's probably why they did it that way, so you could end the show how you wanted to end it with your imagination.
Maybe. I didn't think Tony was going to get killed, but who knows? And I forgot that Christopher got killed. That he died somewhere in the last season. I think it was the last season. And I forgot about that.
So, as long as we're talking about endings of movies and things, so this TV series that we like, Yellowstone, we've all heard the rumors that there's going to be no more Yellowstone.
Yeah.
Well, just recently I heard a rumor that they are actually going to end it with a finale. Done. Over. Finito. No more. And you're going to know how it fucking ended.
Well, I heard this part 2 of the season that we just saw a couple months ago is supposed to be start on 4th of July weekend.
Ooh,
or something like that. Yeah.
that's my birthday.
Whether or not it happens, I don't know.
That's
It's
my
sad
birthday.
because Yellowstone's such a great series. It's so
It really is. And I don't know what makes it so good. If it's Beth, if it's Casey, if it's Mr. Dutton, if it's Rip.
Rip.
Jamie, I really don't care about. I mean, he's like a fucking moron. But I mean, I don't know what character is my favorite character out of all of them. I mean, I like Casey's
You had
wife.
to pick one. If you had to pick one,
If I had to pick one, just one,
yeah.
I think I'd have to go with Beth because she's such a bad bitch. I mean, she doesn't put up with anything. She's got some balls on her.
Beth is a badass. This is true.
I mean, in her office that day that she was attacked by those two men.
Yeah. That was bad.
And
That was horrible.
she's like, I want to see you rape me. And she's
Yeah.
like, come on, stick it in. I mean, the balls on this woman. And you know, obviously you don't want that type of situation to happen to anybody, but you know, God, I mean, how could you? I don't even know how she could do that scene. I mean, granted, you know it's fake, but you have to. That takes a special actress.
I think doing a rape scene, depending on how violent they make it.
Well, that's pretty fucking violent.
I mean, you got to remember, there's people on the set watching, right? There's people holding lights and microphones and cameras and standing around with a clipboard and, you know. But sometimes they make these rape scenes pretty graphic.
Oh yeah,
Sopranos, remember Dr. Melfi? She gets raped in a stairwell or something.
Well, I mean, there was a lot of Game of Thrones scenes I couldn't watch because the rapes they looked too real.
Yeah, I don't know. It's you know, sometimes people think these scenes are required in certain movies or whatever. I prefer the ones where they don't show the rape, but you know something happened and they just cut away.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, I don't like Jamie probably because he's like that snake in the grass. He's two-timing everybody.
He's a weasel.
Yeah, he'll fuck anybody to get what he wants. I mean, and not literally have sex with them. I mean, he'll fuck them over.
Jamie's a weasel.
Yeah.
Bottom line. Yeah. Not a fan of his character.
Yeah.
I was when he was
too, because I mean he was brought in and raised by the Duttons as a Dutton, and then he later finds out he's not a Dutton, and he turns into this complete asshole. I really didn't like what he did with Beth when she was pregnant.
Yeah, but that's not necessarily his fault. It's something that had to happen. She needed
No,
that
it's his
abortion,
fault
right?
because they could have went to another place.
Abortion, though, right? That's what they did.
Well, and with sterilization.
Oh, okay. See, I didn't remember that part. I thought it was just an abortion that went bad.
It was abortion with sterilization, so Beth could never have a baby.
Okay, well, that clears that up for me. I get it now.
And that's why she was pissed
That's part
in
of
the
her
car
bitterness.
after she got out of jail and said, God gave you a son. And she went off on him and started beating his ass in the car.
Because she can't have one.
Right.
Yeah.
But she does, well, that little kid, what's his nuts? Carter. That's more or less her kid, but.
So he knew she was going to get sterilized or do whatever they did.
Well, the
He
lady
didn't tell
told
her
him.
at the time. Told him, but he didn't tell her.
Right. He didn't tell Beth. But he knew because the receptionist said, you should go someplace else because this is part of the process. And that's when he took out his ID. And because the receptionist said nobody will know. He took out his ID and handed it to her, and he said everybody would know.
Yeah. Tough situation, man. It's either way you look at it, there's nothing easy about something like that happening. Anyway, maybe we'll hit Yellowstone before 4th of July. See what happens with that. That's all I got, Bam.
That's all you got.
That's all I got for today.
Alrighty then.
I'm not. I didn't want to. You know, people want to talk about VT. You know, some people contacted me about Vanessa, and I'm not going to say who, but they talked to her, and they've talked to someone else from that camp also. And some people, I don't know how long you people have been following her, but Vanessa's not going to change. Vanessa is Vanessa. She doesn't care for whatever her reason is. She don't care about the girls enough to do something about it. She's not going to do anything about it. She's not going to change. She's not going to go to rehab.
Yeah, once a crackhead, always a crackhead. The only difference is you're either practicing crackhead or you're not a practicing crackhead, but you're still a crackhead.
She's not going to get any kind of help. She's not going to go to a mental hospital, get
Which
treatment.
is what the poor girl actually really needs. She needs to have her head shrunk. Not by like a head shrinking doctor type where they put like, and then you see it. Not one of those head shrinks.
Yeah.
That like at the end of the Beetlejuice. Is that your work? How do you get them that small?
So don't get too worked up about Vanessa and what she's doing or not doing, because we've been watching that for a long time already, and she's not going to change. Just let her be, and
Don't let her be.
don't let her be. Don't
Let her be.
She wants the attention, and that's what she likes. I don't know. Yeah, I don't even care whether she makes money
She
online
craves
or
the
whatever. that's
attention. I
fine.
really believe she craves the attention, and she craves the negativity and as she calls it, the haters. She craves the haters.
Well, she likes being the victim. She loves being the victim. She loves it. That's her favorite position, is being the victim.
Once again, Vanessa, I don't hate you. I could teach you how to cook.
Oh, she needs that. That's for sure.
That's for goddamn sure. You don't take tuna fish out of a can and sear it in a pan. The only time you take tuna fish out of a can and put it in a pan is when you're using tuna helper.
But you don't cook a whole bulb of garlic into that.
Oh, sweet Jesus, you know, she burnt the taste buds in her mouth. That's why she was able to eat 2 and 3 bites out of that shit, because had no taste left in her mouth.
She
for
must
a week.
still smell like garlic because of that. She's still sweating garlic. When you eat that much
no
garlic.
vampire will touch her tonight.
Oof, man. All right. That's all I got, Bam. Anything else?
Well, yeah, I'm glad she's taking a little break, because then that means I can't watch her as much, because I've been watching so much of her. I've been starting to dream about the heifer.
Oh, God.
Oh, yeah.
You're having dreams about Vanessa?
I had a dream about Vanessa the other night.
Oh, boy. Let's hear it.
Well, and you know how dreams are? You only remember bits and pieces of it. So I can't really explain it, but I remember a drag queen friend of mine by the name of Sabrina. I was over at her house, his house, whatever you want to call him. And Vanessa shows up in her beat up, broke down Mustang. And evidently these two were friends, and I didn't know this. And Sabrina's house at the time used to be an old chicken coop. It turned into a house.
Okay.
So we're hanging out, and Vanessa rolls in, and she's like, I need a mechanic because my tire's broken. Well, we couldn't get a mechanic for whatever, 2 or 3 days or whatever. And we all decided that we're going to go do what we're going to do. And we left Vanessa there. And I kind of felt bad that we left her all by herself. Couldn't even get back into the house if she needed to use the bathroom or not. Just left her. Kind of like stranded on the side of the road. She's stranded in the driveway.
I can't believe you just said hanging out with Vanessa.
Yep, hanging out with the old VST. Hairy tits and all. Did you see that picture? That takes me back.
The picture? Yes, I did.
Yeah, the hairy tits. That's Vanessa. Anyways, her friend Michael shows up to fix her tire. And then I don't know how I got back up into the situation, but I showed back up, probably because I felt bad that we just left her. And me and Michael kind of went off and did our own thing, and like, fuck, forget about Vanessa. That's all I really remember about the dream. You know, it's kind of a stupid dream, but I guess you had to be there. It's one of those things you had to be there. And obviously you weren't there.
You start dreaming with the woman. You're thinking about her a little too much. A little too much.
Yeah, I need a Vanessa break. So Vanessa, take a 30-day hiatus. I'll take a sabbatical. You take a hiatus.
Take 90 days. Take 90. It'll do the body good.
It'll do something good.
And I'm sure she'll pop up with some extravaganza reveal or something, you know.
So, when's a girl going back into court again?
I don't know. It's supposed to be
For
this
another
month.
continuance?
It's supposed to be this month. I may inquire about that just so we can know get up to speed on what her what that situation is.
And has the judge seen the new tits yet?
I don't think so.
Because I'd love to hear what his reaction is. You can't pay child support. You can't pay your husband's attorney's fees, but you can buy new tits.
He's going to say, next case. Are you Mrs. Tijerina? Yeah, okay. Yeah. Just check.
Chesty love Tilahina.
Anyway. All right, till next time. Maybe we'll be back tomorrow. Maybe even later tonight.
I'm doing nothing tomorrow. I have a 3-day weekend.
Ooh. How about a super late night pillow talk tonight?
Well, I did get up early, but I could possibly do that.
All right.
What are we going to talk about?
I don't know.
Sex, drugs, and rock and roll?
Okay.
I remember the 80s.
That sounds good. That sounds good. I'm down too. All right. Everyone, thanks for hanging out with us. See you maybe in a little while. I'm digging the vibe. And we'll talk later.
Hasta luego.
I don't know why this dramatic music is going on.
I hear no music.
Who did that? Did I do that?
Anybody else hear any music? I hear nothing.
You don't hear music?
Now I hear music.
Oh, okay. It was there. It just was some weird ass dramatic or scary.
Oh, you turned it down when you brought on that he-she man thing.
All right. See you later, everybody. Thanks for hanging out with us.
Jess, thank you.
Bye.